In a case that's gripped the nation and drawn intense media attention, an Idaho judge has taken a significant step by blocking the public release of the most graphic crime scene images from the murders of 4 University of Idaho students. The decision comes amid widespread public interest and ongoing coverage, as the community continues to seek answers and justice. This October 2025 ruling is a direct response to heartfelt pleas from the victims' families, who asked the court to protect their loved ones' dignity and keep their final moments private, away from public scrutiny and sensationalism. Judge Megan Marshall emphasized that releasing certain photos, videos, and audio would be an unwarranted invasion of privacy, potentially causing further trauma to the families and the community. The court's order is not a blanket ban. Law enforcement agencies are still permitted to release records, but they must carefully redact the most sensitive and disturbing content to prevent unnecessary harm. This includes any material that would show the victims' bodies, as well as images or recordings that capture the immediate aftermath of the violence. The court's restrictions are designed to shield the families from further pain and to prevent the spread of graphic details that could overshadow the memory of the victims. The goal is clear: to balance the public's right to know with the family's right to grieve in peace, and to ensure that justice is pursued with compassion and respect. This precedent recognizes that even in high-profile cases, dignity and humanity must come first, setting an important example for courts across the country. Judge Marshall described the evidence as incredibly disturbing, not just standard crime scene photos, but images that would cause immense pain if made public. She made clear these records serve a legal purpose, not public curiosity. Once their role in court is complete, the privacy of the victims takes priority. In today's digital world, a single image can be shared endlessly, compounding the family's suffering. The ruling protects both the public and the families from exposure to material that is deeply invasive and emotionally damaging. The court chose to honor the victims' memory, not let their final moments become internet spectacle. High-profile cases force courts to walk a tightrope, constantly balancing the public's right to transparency with the need to protect individual privacy. These cases often draw intense media attention, putting every decision under a microscope. Open records are essential for building trust in the justice system, allowing the public to see that justice is being served. But for victims' families, the release of graphic details can feel like a second violation, an invasion that reopens wounds and exposes their pain to the world. Judge Marshall acknowledged the powerful public interest in the case, but ultimately ruled that the privacy of the victims and their families outweighed the need to see the most graphic images. The solution was careful redaction, editing out the most sensitive content. Documents and some media may be released to the public, but the most disturbing or personal content is blacked out, protecting those most affected from further harm. This compromise allows the public to follow the investigation and understand the process, while also ensuring that the victims are not dehumanized or reduced to mere headlines. In the digital age, where information spreads instantly and widely, judges must weigh not just legal precedent, but also the values and principles we want our justice system to reflect for future generations. The court's message is clear: the right to know does not mean the right to gawk at tragedy, or to consume every detail of another's suffering. The dignity and humanity of the victims must always come first, reminding us that justice is not just about facts, but about compassion and respect. To understand the court's decision, recall the tragic timeline of November 13, 2022. Around 4 a.m., Bryan Kohberger arrived at the King Road residence in Moscow, Idaho. In less than 20 minutes, 4 students, Ethan Chapin, Zana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Goncalves, were killed. Surviving roommates, unaware of the horror, tried to contact their friends throughout the morning. It wasn't until noon that police were called and the devastating scene was discovered. The tragedy shocked the community and set off a nationwide manhunt. The court's ruling now seeks to protect the dignity of those lost in that brief, harrowing window. The court's decision is more than a legal outcome. It's a powerful statement about the values that guide our justice system and the principles we choose to uphold as a society. It signals a commitment to compassion, respect, and the recognition of every individual's inherent dignity. It reminds us that victims are more than just names in a case file. They are beloved family members, friends, and members of our community whose memories deserve protection and honor, not just in the courtroom, but in the hearts of those left behind. In an era where true crime stories can go viral in seconds, the judge's ruling stands as a necessary check on sensationalism. It's a call for empathy, urging us to look beyond headlines and remember the real people at the center of these tragedies. By allowing redacted documents, the court finds a careful balance, upholding the public's right to transparency, while also shielding grieving families from further pain and unnecessary exposure. This approach demonstrates that justice can be both open and humane, fostering trust in the system while never losing sight of the people it serves. The legacy of Ethan, Zana, Kaylee, and Madison should be defined by the joy, love, and light they brought into the world, not by the tragic details of their deaths. By prioritizing their dignity, the court affirms a vital truth. In the pursuit of justice, our shared humanity must always matter more than publicity or spectacle.